In Hypixel Skyblock, there's a lot of ways of making money. Mining, farming. However, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at a lesser-known money-making method, which is called lowballing. I made a video on this in the past, and it seemed to have done well, and I've also gotten a lot of requests to make a lowballing guide, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'll divide this guide into 4 parts. What is lowballing, the ideal setup for lowballing, do's and don'ts of lowballing, and a little bit of a montage at the end, which will basically just show you how lowballing is actually done. Alright, then let's get into this guide now. Alright, so firstly, let's go over what is lowballing. Lowballing is a way of basically getting an undercut for an item. So people would come to your island, or you would communicate with players that you're lowballing, and then, which I'll show you that later. But basically, then after that, the player would show you an item, and then you would basically give them an undercut of that item. So if it's worth like 20 mil, maybe you'd give them like 18 mil or something like that, so you would get a little bit of profit once you sold it, but in return the player gets all the money in immediately. So basically the customer and the lowballer would both profit, because the customer gets the money immediately and the lowballer gets a bit of profit when they sell it on eBay. Now that we've gone over what lowballing is, let's talk about the ideal setup for lowballing. So ideally you want to be lowballing with at least 300 million coins in your purse. Lowballing is one of those things that you don't need gear, you just need coins for, so I guess it's a little bit easier because some setups for other money-making methods cost way more than 300 million coins. But 300 mil is like, I would say that's a great place to start. If you can only start with like 200 mil, I guess that's okay, you can lowball smaller items like Yeti swords. But if you have like 300 mil, you can start lowballing items like Midas staffs and maybe low tier warden helmets and stuff like that. So that's a pretty good place to start. Obviously, the amount of money you make per hour is going to change depending on how much money you have in your purse. So for example, if you have 300 million coins, you might be able to make like 30 mil an hour. But if you have like 900 million coins, you might be able to lowball like Terminators and stuff, and you might be able to make like 60, 70, maybe even 80 million coins an hour. Also, you guys should sub. Only 7% of you that watch my videos are actually subscribed. Subscribe to be part of that cool 7%. Also, drop a like for good vibes. Maybe even consider joining the Discord for carries and giveaways. Okay, so now let's talk about some do's and don'ts of lowballing. So the first thing that I would say, a big do that you should do, is have sky.quafflenet.net open. If you don't know what that is, I'll leave a link in the description. It's basically a site where you can check past AH history for some items. This will help you identify manipulated items, and it brings me to my next point. Don't buy manipulated items. This is probably the biggest way that lowballers lose money, because the lowballer usually buys it for like 4, 5, maybe even 6 times what it's worth, and you can lose so much money off of it. Now for this next part, keep in mind that it's just a ballpark. It's not exactly a set number, but I'm going to be talking about what percentage you can take off for certain items. Because the way lowballing works, you don't take a certain amount of money off, you take a certain percentage off. So if you're lowballing, I'd say anything between 1 and 30 million coins, I'd take off probably around 15%, so I'd give him 15% lowball. If you're lowballing anything between like 31 to around maybe 150 or 200 million coins, obviously you can adjust those numbers as you want. I would probably give them something like a 10% lowball, and anything above 200 million coins, I'd probably give them a solid 8% lowball. If you're lowballing something like a 10-star Terminator or a Wither Impact Hyperion, it might be better for you to make that into a 5 to 7% lowball, just so you can make sure the customer doesn't leave. This next one might be a bit controversial, so take it as you will, but what I would say is don't ever lowball farming tools. If they even do sell an AH, they'll take you like 10 days to sell or something. So that's sort of a good thing that I do. I don't lowball farming tools. Farming armor is okay. Farming equipment, I'd probably say no as well. As far as pets go, there's quite a few things you should take into consideration. If it's a candied pet, I'd probably just not buy it. If it's like level 60, it's probably better off just considered as a level 1. Usually pets from like level 60 to like level 80 are just considered as level 1 pets. If it's like level 80, you should give it the weight it deserves. If it's a level 100, you should give it a little of the weight that it deserves. Also, make sure to take a look at the pet item as well. When just lowballing normal items like weapons and armor, make sure to look at everything in the armor. So the reforged, stars, enchantments, ultimate enchantments, hot potato books, art of war, art of peace, fuming potato books, all of that stuff. Maybe dyes if it has dyes. And dyes. That brings me to my last point. Skinned items, usually never buy them. There can be some exceptions if there's like an Anubis dragon's golden dragon skin on a golden dragon. Those usually sell, so you can go ahead with that. True warden skins, Ender Dragon skins, any skin that's like not high demand, don't buy the skin itself, don't buy the skin item. Um, and also with dyes, if it's like a really expensive dye, I'd probably not do it, like pure black, pure white. There's a bunch of other super rare dyes. I wouldn't lowball those. But if it's something like holly dye, strawberry dye, those are commonly put on something like Necron's armor. So that would probably sell, so I'd do that. Alright, so now let's jump into that lowballing montage. I'll basically just be showing you how lowballing's done. So the first thing you want to do is come into Hub 1. I'm in Hub 1 right now, as you can see by the insane amount of players and all the gifts going around. But you just want to put your lowballing messages in as an advertisement, sorry. So you just want to put lowballing, you want to put your purse sum, lowballing 1.23 bill. And you just want to say purse, and then you want to say visit me or something, just so they know to come to your island. You want to keep this message short in the beginning, just so that if no one visits your island, you can come back and add something like normal rules to it, and you won't get the same message twice error. So I'm gonna put this, and then you go to something like hub 2, or the next biggest hub, and then put your message again, and then basically once you get players just like that, you head to your island and you start lowballing. So let's see what this guy has to offer. And this next clip, well, I don't have words for it. Okay, so a customer just came to me with a Bonzo's mask, which is clean, basically just 5-starred. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check AH for something that is similar to his. Alright, this looks pretty similar to his, 1.6 mil. So then you can go here, 1.6, I'll give him like a 20% low ball. So it's a really tiny item. I'll ask from like 1.2. 1.2 mil. Let's see what he says. Alright, he accepts. So we go here. Usually for bigger items, you want to offer them, see what they say first. But this is just such a small item. It's just like 400k profit, but it's something, so let's say thank you. Alright, so I got a customer with 3 Forts Mastiff armor. So I'm gonna send him a trade request. Basically, just put it in the trade menu, and then I just checked AH, so this is worth 3.95 mil, and this is worth 3 mil. So since it's low valuing items, you can offer a better deal like that. Alright, so for 73 mil, we're getting all of these accessories worth 85.4 mil. This is actually a great deal. Okay, so we're getting 100 mil Midas here for 235 million coins. So before taxes, this would be around a 25 mil flip. Probably going to be around 15 mil after taxes. So I'm going to make sure that's the right Midas. Looks like it is. Basically just max one. So yeah, it's a good deal. Okay, so I'm getting a 5-star Spirit Bow with your 5 enchants on it for 7.25 mil. So this is the Spirit Bow with also Hot Potato Books. It's worth about 9 mil, so it's a nice flip. Okay, so we're getting an Elephant Pet, which is level 86. We're getting it for 29.5 mil. Level 86 with the green bandana, sorry. Almost level 87. 29.5 mil for this. It's a good deal. It's like a 3.5 mil flip, so. Okay, so from a customer that we had earlier, we're getting a Glacial Scythe for 55.3 mil. So it's like 64 on AH or something like that. So it's gonna be about a 5-ish mil flip. So with that, we're going to wrap up the video here. If you guys learned something or enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Also, join the Discord. We got giveaways going on in there actively right now. We got carriers. We got a bunch of stuff. If you just want to talk to me, participate in giveaways, be a carrier, or get some carries, join up. But yeah, I just lagged there. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.